This is your friend, Pastor Maxwell Okuribido, welcoming everyone to our family program, Family Foundation. We are in another sub-heading, but before I go onto the sub-heading, I want to quickly remind us that the last time when we met on this program, we discussed uh, builders of home, built to last, and then we were able to mention 8 things that are things that are regarded as ingredients to building home built to last in marriage. I want to say that this subtopic that we did last was initially not in the first edition of my book, Happy Home. It's also not in the second edition, so it's just a new inclusion to it. So quickly, as our previous knowledge, we, we explained to us that we have the chief playmakers, the spouse, husband and wife, being number one, who, with all respect, must carry their load before others join them. So after the two, husband and wife, we have God the Almighty, that every marriage needs to be successful. Number three is the Holy Spirit. I also mentioned to us spouse experience. They are very, very important reference points in building up homes or marriages built to last. Children of the marriage, relatives, family, friends, and neighbors, all these are very, very cogent developments and people, that their services at all the times, even if possible, we could say on daily basis, required to build a home up to satisfactory level, where it will continue unabated, and the family as a whole sits in the comfort zone. So today, quickly, the subtopic we are taking on this same broad topic, building a home that lasts, is what I also title "What Destroys Homes Built to Last." What destroys homes built to last? These are the things in my own word, I refer to as, I refer to them as inhibitor, I refer to them as enemies that broke the marital wall, and for no reason must we allow them an inch into our marriage. One is what I named as declining affection between the spouse. Declining affection between the spouse. Number two is sin and iniquity. Number three is prayerlessness. Number four is plantlessness. Plantlessness. Number five is lack of coordinating practices. Lack of coordinating practices. I have as our number five is as ignoring God. Yes, ignoring God is also a vital point there among things that destroys marriages. Number six of it is not hearkening to the Holy Spirit. Seven is pride and arrogance. Eight, infiltration by the third party. Infiltration by the third party. 9, lack of follow-ups practices. lack of follow-ups practices, and we also have number 10, which I called lack of foresight. Yes, that will be number 11. Lack of foresight. Lack of foresight. So let's take these enemies of home built to last one by one. Let me start with declining affection between spouse. Uh, yes, it's very, very important that we know that what we call as diminishing returns, the moment it begins to set in marriage, such marital engagement is in trouble. I where the affection, the love between the man and the woman, husband and wife, when it wins, then that marriage is in trouble. So what I am saying here is that the affections must be kept going, and nothing must hinder it. Nothing must hinder it. It must be on equal basis between the husband and wife. But the moment uh, maybe the man or the woman has started stepping out and doing some uh, things that are not expected, then adultery, for an example, that is where the wall of the home built to last may start to crack. So it is very, very important we note it. And every spouse, every husband and wife ensures that for no reason do they allow the affection. They must ensure that that fire continues to burn endlessly in their marriage. May the good Lord help us to sustain this all-important agape love. Number 2, sin and iniquity. I have almost said it. Adultery in marriage can befall such marriage. Yes, it is very, very important that we ensure that we refrain from, husband and wife refrain from committing any form of sin which may negate the happiness of the home. It's very, very important they see to it that uh, they must confide in each other, and whatever has gone wrong, they should be able to say it. There's nothing new on heart. Both of them should have forgiving hearts in this respect, so that the home, so that the marriage can continue. So, prayerlessness. Yes, you cannot leave prayer out of the scheme of things. Yes, prayer is two-edged sword that can do all things, can open closed doors, and can also shut doors that are open, ought not to be open in marriage. So both husband and wife ensures that they do not allow their prayer altar to go down for any reason. Pray in the morning, pray together with their children before they leave the home. Then when they are about to retire to bed at night, they also do the same thing. Common altar, common family altar. So plantlessness, plantlessness, we have it that anyone that refuses to plan has planned to fail. Generally, this is it, and it affects marriage, or marriages are not left out. So the husband and wife ensures that they have planned alternative plans. Aside of the original plan, they should have alternative B and C in the event of failure of the one being used, so that they quickly bring in the alternatives plan. So plan fires projects. so that such venture do not collapse and become a thing of the past. Lack of coordinating practices. Yes, there must be coordination in what we do, what the husband and wife do rather, because it's like a system. Uh, what has to be done in the morning must not be done in the afternoon. What has to be done in the afternoon must not be done in the night. So there is proper coordination, there is promptness, timeliness, and what I would call due process must be brought to the fore in coordinating. Yes, ignoring God, very, very important point. We have spouses that say they are freelance, they do what they like, it is what comes to their mind they do. They do not believe in the existence of God, the creator of heaven and earth. People like that may shoot themselves in marriage, in the legs, and then compound their problems. No one leaves God behind in anything and succeed. Very, very important. They key into it before they do anything. They ask God to lead them through. So, ignoring God, the originator of marriage institution, is a very bad step taken in the bad faith. So, spouses in marriage must be wary of this, and it's in my own, is see caution number one, that every spouse, husband and wife, must take cognizance of. I want to talk about pride and arrogance. Yes, pride goes before the fall. So both husband and wife, especially the man in the house, the head of the house, should not for any reason flagrantly abuse that privilege of being the head of the house and sees his wife as subordinate, as a non-entity whose best place is in the kitchen. So he ensures that in taking decision, the man takes his wife along, while the wife also reciprocates the same thing, even if the wife is the breadwinner. So the area of finances is very, very important, so that whosoever is gainfully employed, or the breadwinners, to so to say, from the two sides, do not abuse these rare opportunities and privilege. So the humility, respect for one another, for each other in marriage becomes very, very necessary, even to the children of the marriage. Both parents learn to respect the children and give them also their due respect, irrespective of their age. I want to talk about infiltration by the third party. Yes, this is important. Though we talk about consultation, that we should consult people in marriage, should consult with the elders who have gone through that marital journey before them. But where it becomes a case, a recurrent decimal, where the man and the woman in marriage, the husband and wife, can't take any decision on their own until they run to their either mother-in-law or father, or father-in-law, which it becomes incessant. It is not good. It could bring down the wall of the marriage. So this is another thing that should be noted. Infiltration by the third party should not be allowed in marriage. It's one of the enemies that work against home build to last. I talk about as number 9 here, if I am right with what I listed here. Lack of follow-ups practices. Yes, in everything one does, just like in business, you have you must bring it into it a reminder of what you have previously done, or else if it lapses, one might not be able to get on well. Important things are forgotten, which are things that will move the marriage and home forward. So follow-ups are very, very important. The last but not the least, which I also called lack of foresight, talks about thinking ahead. Yes, spouses in marriage should not relent on their efforts. They must be thinking all round, think about the wellness of themselves, think about the wellness of the children, of the marriage, not allowing them to lack any good things. And before anything happens, prayerfully too, they must have been saying it, the red light, and they work against such anomaly in marriage.